Welcome back to FM Story. We're past the halfway stage of season 6 now, and we're still currently sat in second in the table. So hopefully, without the distraction of any cup competition or European competition, we can push on and finish as high as second. I mean, we're probably not going to finish first because Real Madrid are 11 points clear, but if we can consolidate our position, even getting back to finishing third would be decent. But hopefully, we can keep that position in second, and let's find out how we get on. Before we do get started, if you do enjoy the video, please like, comment and subscribe. And without further ado, let's get going. So we're coming to the end of February, and February has been in a bit of an improvement. We had a mini stumble in January, but February's been seeing us back to our best form. So in January, we'd gone out at the Copa del Rey and we'd lost to Villarreal and Real Madrid, although, I mean, you'd expect us to lose away at Real Madrid. But we bounced back. We've conceded more goals than we had previously. But we've bounced back with victories. We've bounced back with victories over Getafe, 3-2. We were 1-0 down and then 2-1 down, but we were able to overpower them and come away with a win. We beat Valencia 4-2, which we did our level best to kind of throw away. We took the lead through Nico Serrano just after half time. They equalised. We went back ahead on 72 minutes. They equalised pretty quickly straight after that. And then we required 16-year-old Enrico Vallejo, who came through the youth intake last season, to come off the bench and get the third. And David Aranga picked up the fourth, and we managed to just about hold on to that 2-goal cushion after Danny Vivian got sent off in the 88th minute. Sevilla, we were 1-0 down at half-time. So at that point, we made some changes and brought some players on. The person who made the biggest impact again was Enrico Vallejo. Came off the bench, set up the first goal for Muniain, scored a stunner of a goal from outside the box for the third goal, but his second one was a nicely worked goal that he slid past the keeper. The third goal was a stunner from distance. They pulled a goal back, but then we nicked a one in injury time just to make the result safe and won 4-2. We've coming up against Mallorca in the next game, the last game of February. And currently we're sat in second place. We've played a game more than Real Sociedad, and we're 2 points clear of them. We're 6 points clear of Villarreal as well. So hopefully if we continue this decent form, we can really solidify that second place position in the league. Going into the game against Mallorca, we're only missing Javi Lopez, who's out through suspension. So Unai Ibanez has come in on the left-hand side of midfield. Since Nico Williams got injured, we started playing Ike Muniain wide right, and he seems to have kind of excelled in that role, allowing Julian John Guerrero to play in behind the front man. Nico Williams is back today and back to full fitness, so he's going to start for the first time in sort of 5 or 6 weeks. And given his performances off the bench in the last couple of games, we're going to reward Enrico Vallejo with a start and see what happens there. But we do have lots of options in that attacking third of the pitch on the bench, in Inaki Williams, Nico Serrano, David Aranga, Griezmann and Macherana as well. If we get off to a decent start early on in this game, that would be a good sign. The last couple of games we've had to rely on goals in the second half of games to see us through. It's going to be a big one to have Nico Williams back, because he was in great form before his injury. That was a lovely header by Vallejo, who's not the tallest, and it's led to almost the perfect start. This would really sum things up if they score from what is basically pretty much their first attack by the looks of things. Can we get rid of it? This has all the hallmarks of a game where we're just going to waste chance after chance and then get beat or draw. Vallejo doesn't have the best jumping reach, heading, and he's not particularly tall, but he seems to win header after header. Munayin. Oh! So, all in all, we've played pretty well in that first half. We just haven't created, or we've created chances, and 14 shots. We only had 2 on target. We just need to take the chances. I think if we get 1, we get 2 or 3 and win pretty comfortably. But the longer this goes on, the more there's that horrible feeling of Mallorca counter-attacking and nicking one on the break. Vallejo's nicked the ball back and has won a penalty. It's got to be a foul. I mean, he's definitely kind of quick and direct, and I think that's the second penalty he's won since he's come into the team. Nico Williams has stepped up to take the penalty. Just what we needed to start the second half. We've managed to take that early chance that we didn't take at the beginning of the first half. Right in the bottom corner. Right, Ibanez. Right, Vallejo's in behind again. Oh! He certainly makes things happen. Can't be offside. Surely that's not offside. The defender was between him and the goalkeeper the whole time. Nico Serrano straight to David Aranga. Oh! And the 2 newly arrived players nearly scored straight away. Just to seal the deal, Aranga picks up a goal at the back post there. It's a lovely play by Ibanez down the wing. Looks like he's just going to the corner just to waste a bit of time, but then just swings across over to the back post. Aranga's unmarked. That's 3-0. And that's a bit more reflective of how the game's gone as well. I mean, overall, that's a truly dominant performance. We should have had more goals. We were unlucky in hitting the woodwork a couple of times. Vallejo, I think, is unfortunate just to have a 6.7 because in that first half he was involved in pretty much everything. He may be someone that's at the young age is better coming on for the last half hour when everyone else is tired and running at people, like he did to win the penalty. But you know what? We'll take it. 3-0, 5 points clear in second place. Good result. We're approaching our final game of March, and since we've been knocked out of the Copa del Rey, it's only 3 games that we'll be playing in the month. So the first game against Almeria, we dominated and then just didn't take chances. Later on, we'd taken players off and brought younger players on, and that lack of experience that we had left on the pitch at the end probably cost us because they nicked an equaliser deep in injury time. It was just about onside. We then had the home game against Real Sociedad, so we'd lost the earlier game in the season 1-0 away from home. We won this one 1-0 at home with a goal from Nico Williams. More of a concern is the injury we suffered to Alex Sola, who's going to be out for about 4 weeks. Hopefully the international break's going to take care of most of that injury, but we might have to play Raul Huarte at right back, who's not really a right back, he's more a centre half. We managed to weather the storm late on to hold on and win 1-0. And we've got a game against Rayo Vallecano coming up just to end off March. Last season we got hammered by them 3 times in the league and the cup. We did beat them earlier on in the season 3-0, so hopefully we can put in a performance like that again. They are 7th in the league at the moment, so they're obviously doing pretty well. As we stand at the moment, we're in second. We're 16 points behind Real Madrid, so I think the title's pretty much we can say Real Madrid are going to win the title again, and that'll be every season so far in the save that they've won the title. We are now 3 points clear of Real Sociedad, and bearing in mind we've kind of exchanged 1-0 wins as well. It'll come down to, I think it's goal difference after the head-to-head results are taken into account, so we should be fairly safely in second place. It's more a 4-point gap than anything else. We are 9 points clear of Barcelona and Villarreal, who are in 4th and 5th, so hopefully if we can have a half-decent end to the season, we can secure this second place finish, which would be our highest finish in the save so far. We've managed to keep 15 clean sheets out of 28 games, which is pretty impressive, considering where we were at the back end of last season. This season, the goals have been very much shared around the team. So we've got Julian John Guerrero's got in double figures with 10, Nico Williams is in double figures with 12, Antoine Griezmann's in double figures with 11, but then you've got Aranga's picked up 7, Nico Serrano's picked up 7, Ika Muniain's got 6. So we've kind of shared the goals around more than in previous seasons where we've had one sort of out-and-out goal scorer. But we do have Alex Sola's going to be missing for 3 weeks now. Unai Jimenez is out for 2 weeks, but would probably wouldn't have even started. So we're going into the game against Vallecano with a pretty strong lineup. Lenormand's back from suspension, which is a big one as well. So as we said, going into this game, we've got a couple of players missing. So Alex Sola's missing and Unai Jimenez is missing. So Raul Huarte is coming at right back. We've brought Griezmann back into the team. He's going to play from the right. Muniain's going to switch to the left. But otherwise, it's pretty much the same team. Norman's come back into the team after suspension. So Guillemon's moved back into midfield and Zubimendi's moved back to the bench. But pretty much a stronger team as we can put out. For this game, I think probably if you looked at it at the start of the season, there's probably only difference to our starting lineup, or our strongest lineup would have been Sola playing a right back instead of Huarte. If we can get off to a decent start, we've been relatively secure at the back this season. I think Griezmann's definitely thinking about the retirement at the end of the season. He's just walking through this game practically. Now, I'm hoping that's offside because he looked miles off. And the keeper didn't really try and do anything. It's like the keeper assumed he was offside and just couldn't be bothered. I mean, I'm not suggesting anything's dodgy, but the fact we didn't see the lines there when it was originally given as offside. The one thing about this lineup is we certainly don't have any pace in the wide areas. It's going to have to come from the fullbacks. Right. Terrible. Right, Vallejo, Aranga, and we've given it ball away again. Oh, come on. We've defended so much better than that all season. I don't think there's anything good to come from that. Everyone had a bad day at the office. Maybe chalk it up to one of those days and move on, I think. It's that time of year for the youth intake. So before we actually see our youth intake for this year, this is the preview. So somehow, again, it's a 5-star excellent preview, despite the fact that we have one group at A, one group at B, 2 groups at C, and the rest at D or worse. So we've got a forward who could be considered a fine prospect. So we've got one player that's decent in the A group. We've got one winger that's decent in the B group. We lack quality in goal and don't have particularly good centre-backs coming through to the C group. So I'm going to be intrigued to see how this is an excellent intake, because it certainly doesn't look like it so far. So here we are. The youth intake has landed, and we've got 2 elite talents. The centre forward. Don't know where this ball-winning midfielder came from, because there wasn't one of them in the preview. We were told there wasn't many goalkeepers coming through, and we've got a top talent, another centre midfielder. This presumably is the winger that was they were talking about as being a one coming through. Unfortunately, yet again, another left winger, which we've got hundreds of now. So let's have a look at some of them. Like in terms of what we play, he's not particularly quick. He's very tall, but not great, not brilliant in the air, and not a great finisher. I don't see him as a winger either. It's a strange one, that one. But 6'5" at 15 is intriguing. Ochoa, the defensive midfielder. Determination, bravery, aggression. I think he's a centre half more than anything else. We just need to develop that kind of ball playing bit of it for the way we play. I mean, tries to play our way out of trouble and tries long range passes with passing of 8, dribbling of 8, decisions of 9. I think he's going to be a long term one, but 5'10" as a centre half, maybe he's a bit on the small side. So the goalkeeper, potentially, it's all going to depend on how he develops, but certainly promising there. But we've had a few promising goalkeepers come through in the last couple of years. Another central midfielder. Probably more the attack. It's probably going to need to be more the attacking midfielder from the way we play. But a distinct lack of passing is a bit of a problem. The vision's up there. And then we've got the left winger. So decent finishing, first touch, dribbling, reasonably quick. The mentals are going to need some serious work though. So looking at the talent that we've had in, obviously Andrew Benito and George Okoa definitely stand out as being the better ones. I would say the chances of the top 5, also the elite talents and top talents, developing to players are pretty high. The only thing with Andrew Benito, like we said, is the 6'5", not great in the air, and what is he actually going to develop into for us? And that would be the main issue there. But overall, a decent intake, but again, probably one of the weaker ones that we've had in the save so far. And that's the end of this episode. Overall, fairly successful. We're still sitting second in the league. Can we maintain that and finish second at the end of the season? Let's find out next time. See you then. Bye.